Right. October 23rd, waking up in the dream. We are getting to the exciting part of this journey here on Earth and shifting out of being controlled by the old paradigm. And my intention with this transmission is, no matter where you're at on your journey, is to expand your level of conscious awareness, to open your mind far beyond the very limiting belief system that we were given, we were taught through school or religion or through history or all these other things. So what I'm about to share might be challenging. You might say that the person sharing this information is a fraud or whatever. I'm going to invite you to not go there. I'm going to invite you as the experiment where you're going to benefit from this sharing is to just be the observer and watch what your mind does when I share this very short video clip, which is one person's take on what's about to happen with disclosure. I can't vouch for David Wilcock. I can't vouch for Gaia TV. What I can say is, after going down the rabbit hole for the past 25 years, that there are some very, very big, exciting, and wonderful things that are occurring right now as we speak, but you're not going to see them on the news until the media gets taken down, which is going to happen very soon. And if you're one of those people that goes, well, I'll believe it when I see it, then you don't understand that you're playing a role in creating this shift with your thoughts and your words and your intention. You are so powerful, and yet so many of us don't understand how powerful we are because we've been so busy surviving for most of our lives in this matrix. So again, part of waking up in the dream, the purpose of the book and what I do each month when I take a small number of people through the 30-day transformational experience is, part one is complete inner healing, which involves forgiveness, removing, clearing, and healing any trauma or childhood conditioning that keeps us in a reactive state or keeps our frequency revolving and magnetizing more timelines, events, relationships, lack, or whatever it is, because we haven't gone in and done the inner clearing. Okay, so that's step one, and that has to happen if anybody is going to move beyond the repeating patterns of the 3D matrix, because it's a lower vibration. As we begin to clear and heal and dismantle our very, very limiting belief system, which doesn't even come close to opening up to the unlimited potential that's so far beyond the belief system that most of us has taken on, that's key. And it's got to happen. So as I play this very short video clip, observe and tell yourself that you're going to go in and watch this, and no matter what David Wilcock says, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to remain open, because what he shares is quite mind-blowing, even to myself. Now, as my teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, told me in 2001, when I began to apprentice with him, he said, Jeff, don't believe me. Don't believe yourself. You know, question everything, but use your intuition and use the power of your thought and your mind and your vibration to create the reality timelines that you desire to create. So again, as I play this short video clip, the key is to observe it and go, whether or not you believe this is true, It's very, very interesting, and it asks you to suspend your automatic reactions, your automatic triggers, and go, wow, that's interesting. This is a very, very big possibility. And again, whether or not you agree with it, the whole purpose is for you to begin to create your reality. And I have everybody that I journey with that goes through my course or does the digital online course of the book to begin to consciously create their reality every single morning as soon as they wake up, while their head's still on the pillow, before those 50 to 80,000 same thoughts start running over and over and over, which happens for a lot of society. And it's okay, because this is where we're at, and everybody's our mirror. So we don't judge anybody moving forward. If anything else, we just hold compassion. We realize that they're just an aspect of ourselves. And if they ask for help, we give them a hand up, just like everybody has for us. So, hey, everybody, my intensity is refreshing. I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah. Well, cool. That's great. Now let's see if the choir can expand into and take something away from what I'm sharing, because I'm really just talking to Jeff right now. In the video that I'm about to share you, when I saw it earlier today, it opened me up to another level. And again, I don't necessarily agree with the information, but it's very, very interesting. And it's one possible timeline. And I like it because when he talks about removing the grid that's been in place, that's been keeping us from instant manifestation, which I know is possible, and been keeping us in lower frequencies, I completely resonate with the fact that I know that our DNA was hijacked. I know that there's frequencies and programming. The television is one perfect example, the media, and how they have basically attacked the frequency of our food, our water, our air, all this stuff. But this isn't about the darkness being in control. This is about what's happening right now at this incredible, exciting time. So let me navigate through turning this on. And my screen's going to look a little bit weird because it's going to look like a portal going in until I start the video. But let me play this, and it's only like a 3 or 4, maybe 5-minute video. And the ending, I don't know why it gets cut off, but it's not me. So check this out and keep an open mind, okay? Here we go.
Takes our certainty of being a spiritual being and makes it absolutely certain, where there's no veil left, where we are wide open to reality and our greater spiritual identity. I would want more people to know about that so they can prepare for it.
Of course.
Because these religious texts were intended to give you thousands of years of lead time to prepare for it. And what we're hearing is that our own military-industrial complex has very powerful ships now that can defeat the reptilians, 100%. And they're already doing it. We've created that here. And this is from several insiders now, the highest level stuff that I can give you. The Draco, the reptilians, have created these technologies, including these gigantic tankers. We're talking 2.5 mile long ships hovering in low Earth orbit, cloaked so you can't see them. But if you could, they'd be right there and they'd be gigantic, covering the sky.
What's in them?
Mind control technology that is preventing us from having this spiritual shift already. Our government, our military, it's not really the government, okay, but our military industrial complex.
Let's call it the cabal.
The cabal, or, well, they're not all bad. Some of these guys, they now have the ability to shoot those tankers down. The problem they're having, George, is that it's not like a fader dial where you can kind of fade out the mind control.
Right.
It's either on or it's off, and they know this. So they haven't shot the tankers down yet, because when they do, everybody kind of goes into a psychedelic trip.
Will they?
It's unavoidable. There have already been multiple experiments, I've heard this from several insiders, that have been done in which they take ordinary folks and they put them into a room and they zap them with the energy that our sun is going to give off when we go through this change.
Yeah.
And the spiritual people become very blissed out. They start to get really telepathic. They can move things with their mind.
But the others?
People that are negative, materialistic, selfish, fearful, you start to create whatever you think.
Yeah.
So you're manifesting your own reality in real time. And if you go into a panic, if you go into paranoia, you're going to start having terrifying hallucinations. You're going to actually see things. And the more that you fear them, the more they're going to appear. So our government, I'll say that, our government knows that this is going to happen if they take these tankers down, and they're very, very concerned about it because people will freak out.
It's like Independence Day.
Yeah, very much so. But on the other hand, you're going to have all these people that are having positive experiences, and this is human evolution. It's inevitable. Yeah. So if they could tell us the truth, and if they could say to us, okay, this ascension thing is going to happen, there is a consciousness shift that's going to happen, we are going to take down a control system that has stopped you from having this consciousness shift. And we're going to let you know that we're going to do it. And everybody has like a week to prepare, let's say, right? And people are going to be freaking out. But the point is, get ready, because once we do this, you're going to have some new experiences, some new consciousness, some new abilities. But we don't want to just do it all at once. We want to tell you that it's going to happen so that you can be in position and understand what's going to happen to you as this takes place. It is going to be bizarre, but once you've acclimated to it, you're going to have.
Okay. So, again, very interesting. You may believe it. You may resonate or not. I don't know. But I do know that we did have the ability to instantly manifest. I do know that we could live for thousands of years or as long as we wanted when our DNA wasn't hijacked. I know this stuff. I can't prove it to you. I just know. And so the whole point of sharing this is not to say that David Wilcock or Gaia is right. If anything, I'm very leery, especially of anything that's on the television that is allowed to be put out. I think it's drip, drip, drip trickling right now. But my first inclination is to question everything, just like my mentor, Don Miguel Ruiz, told me to. And then I use my intuition. So my takeaway from this is it resonates as truth, but the bigger takeaway really here is whether that shocked you, whether that excited you, or you just don't even know and you think I'm crazy. Look at the automatic trigger if anything challenges what you believe to be true. Because I can tell you that the belief system is a prison. I wrote a whole book on what it is and how to quickly dismantle it step by step that even a third grader could do, waking up in the dream. And I watch people shift from 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years of wounds and beliefs every single month in under 30 days, and their life is never the same. And this is what's going to happen for all of us. It's not just for a select few. It's just that I had an incredible teacher and I was hungry, and I'm not above anybody. Everybody's my teacher. Everybody's your mirror when you really wake up and you're just loving on everybody. And if there's anybody that you don't love, then you know that they're mirroring back to you some type of wound. And I'm even talking about the darkest of the dark and pedophiles. Yeah, they will be removed from the planet and they will have their karmic thing. But I'm talking about the bigger picture here of where we're going and how to get there faster by beginning to track all your words, all your thoughts, and understand that your words and your thoughts and the emotion that you put behind them create your vibrational frequency. And we are walking, talking magnets that are attracting and magnetizing to us like frequency timelines. There's a bazillion different timelines going on all at once. We can't see them shifting because that's how this kind of 3D, 4D, 5D thing is happening right now. That's the best way I can explain it. And I know nothing. When I got rid of my belief system, everything began to open up for me because I no longer reacted to things that challenged me. Because here's how the ego works. It was set up to protect us. It was set up to keep us safe. So the ego, the untrained and undismantled ego, simply wants to do nothing but keep us safe, and it wants to be in control because that's how it feels safe. But there is no such thing as control. In fact, when you can let go of any need to control, that's when things will start to open up for us. We've been kept so small and in this prison from the school system they teach you what to think. They don't teach you how to think. That's why it's sit down and shut up. History, all this stuff, you guys know this. It's all been inverted and most of it's been a lie. And the only two beliefs I ever kept were love is the answer in every situation and that I am an unlimited being. But I don't know that many people that truly play with the word unlimited every single day when they wake up. And most people that come and go through my course, they don't even create their reality first thing in the morning until I have them do it. And then they go, oh my God, you'll never guess what happened. And I'm like, yeah, synchronicities and things are starting to show up that seem like magic and miracles, but they're not magic and miracles. They're us consciously, intentionally setting our intention every single morning and seeing any desire is already here now or in the future, because the subconscious only knows how to do one thing. That's it. Unstoppable. You're in alignment. It's here now. There is no doubt. And in the beginning, if you have to play with it because the ego goes, well, it's not here yet. I still don't have money or whatever. That was one of my big things. Money was an issue for me all my life because that's what I was mirrored. My dad died when I was young. My mom was scared about money. My uncle had 8 kids. It was all lack, lack, lack. That was my whole frickin' thing. And I had to play with it and start to test it until I shifted it. And I share that on all my lives, and they're available on my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, for anybody that wants to learn these tools. I don't hold anything back. It's just that when you go through a mentorship with me, I mirror you like every day of the week for 30 days. You watch the trainings and you start to see the program. And we cannot dismantle a program unless we can see it, because the ego will continue to just justify it. It always wants to tell you that it knows, but it doesn't. The ego doesn't know shit. It only knows what it's been programmed and fed. God bless it. And I have everybody name their ego when they begin the course so they can see exactly when Larry or Negative Nancy or whoever's doing what they do. And then they go, oh my God, everybody almost is running the same program and they can't even see it. So this is the stuff that sets me on fire. And it's conscious awareness, and expanding our conscious awareness is the only game in town. It's the only reason why we're here. To experience this journey, to be in love, to realize that every single person is your mirror reflection. They're all you. Like my teacher told me, Jeff, everyone is you. And my ego didn't want to believe it. It didn't understand how to believe it because it didn't understand how the hologram worked and how it was a mirror. I used to think everything out there was doing things to me. I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic in Catholic school. That's why I wrote a whole chapter on judgment, because it's the biggest addiction on the planet, and exactly how to dismantle it step by step. Because if we don't, every single thing that we judge, we're actually magnetizing more to us. Remember, we're a magnet. We're walking magnets. And I wish somebody would have told me this 25, 30 years ago. But this is what I'm sharing now. And all I can tell you is it works. So this is my perspective. And I intend that, maybe you found this valuable, but I can tell you that dismantling the belief system will be the most life-changing thing that you ever do, because it's our beliefs that stop us. It's our beliefs that keep us small. It's our beliefs that keep us in reaction mode, the automatic reactor that I talk about in the book. Become the conscious observer. And I'll give you a couple tools for healing and for not being triggered anymore. So anytime you notice that you have a trigger or whatever, if you don't catch it, that same lesson's going to come back around again and again, because it's built in. This is how the soul evolves. And if you don't catch it, it's got to come back again. But if you use this powerful 3-word mantra, instead of going into judgment or becoming triggered, it'll change your life. So when you feel the urge to become triggered, or it's like, that's going against my belief system, that doesn't feel comfortable, take a breath and go, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Puts you in a 0 point state of observing. It's not reacting. It's not one way or the other. It just stops the mind, the automatic reactor, from going, I don't like this, that's bullshit, whatever, judgment, trigger. And then you're just going to relive that over and over and over until you get it. This is so important. It's key. It's priceless. It's completely life-changing. Isn't that interesting? And the next one is, if you do get triggered, take a breath and go, okay, what is this trying to teach me about me? It's never, ever about the other person out there in the reflective hologram. Unless they're physically assaulting you, then get out of the situation, obviously. But words cannot hurt you. Don't take anything personally. The 4 agreements. Nothing anybody says about you has anything to do with you. It's their own projections based on their own belief system. It's a mirror, and everybody's just doing their thing. But when you develop your conscious awareness to the space where you can go, isn't that interesting? Now, you just opened up a portal into unlimited dimensions. Yeah, it's so great. It's priceless. So anyway, I guess that's it. I could continue, but I think that's really, really key. So if anybody's interested in the book, go to the website, portaltoawakening.com. There's a half-price link. And if anybody's interested in doing the 30-day mentorship with me, it's the most life-changing thing I've ever done. And I studied with a lot of people before I figured this out. And my teacher didn't even teach me how to do this process. But he did get me to look at my belief system. And when I saw that my beliefs were not even mine, and that everybody out there was reacting to either A, anything that challenged their belief system, triggered them, or anything that touched on an unhealed or uncleared wound or trauma from childhood. And they just keep revolving and recycling over and over and over. So the first piece is complete clearing and healing. Got to do it. And it's so easy to do. Most of it comes down to forgiveness. But so many people are they're stuck. I don't know why. It's so freaking easy. I do it with people every month, and it happens during the first few days every single time. Even for people that have had huge sexual trauma or abuse, or people that have had people murdered in their family, they clear it. I just learned how to do this, and it works. So sending you lots of love, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging in for 24 minutes and 22 seconds. And if you think this is valuable, which I don't know anything more valuable than this, other than just unconditional love, operating in that, but please feel free to share this, because the more people that wake up to ownership and see that their belief system is a prison, the faster the collective frequency is going to go up. which is going to accelerate the whole thing for all of us, or the one, which we all are. And it's time to get excited. It's time to consciously and intentionally create your day every single morning before you step one foot out of bed to go to the bathroom or to make a pot of coffee or get the kids ready for school. If you need to set your alarm a half hour, an hour earlier, do it. That's what I have every one of my clients do, and it changes their entire life. If this sounds good and you go, yeah, that sounds good, but you don't do it, then don't expect a lot to change, because it kind of takes some practice. But once you do it for a couple weeks or 30 days and you see the incredible synchronicities that begin to show up in your reality, you'll do it for the rest of your life, because you'll realize that the rest of those 23 hours a day where you're just kind of running, and I'm not saying nobody's present, nobody meditates, and nobody comes back, but it's truly life-changing. It's the most life-changing thing I've ever found, because we are creating our reality with our thoughts, our words, and our emotions, and the frequency that we hold in every moment, whether we are aware of it or not. And they've done such a good job at keeping people in reaction mode that most people aren't aware of how powerful they are and how it really works, and they get stuck. And that's all shifting right now, where the energy's coming into the planet. People are waking up like popcorn, and we came here for this. So what an exciting time. Stay excited. If you're in a country where they're really pushing hard right now and it's diabolically dark, like Australia or some of the other countries where I have friends, then do your best to be the observer. Don't give in no matter what, but you don't need to fight it. These people are already being taken out. The light has already won, but the people need to be shown, or they're not going to wake up. You can already see that there's so much evidence, and certain people are just like, nope, you're a conspiracy theorist. I trust the television or my doctor. Okay, so just give them love. Some people don't want to wake up. It's okay. Love them. But protect your own energy, and just know that it's going down. And the next couple weeks to 30 days, I know you may have heard that before, but it's going down. I see evidence every single day. And yeah, it takes some time to do research, and maybe not everybody has the time to do what I do. But I don't spend a lot of time going down the rabbit hole anymore. I spend most of my time in nature and in conscious conversations with people around the world, and connecting with people that are holding the frequency. So if you're really feeling like you're in a dark space, then reach out to somebody that will mirror you. But don't stay in your story about how fucked up everything is, and don't do that, because your consciousness, your subconscious, is taking orders from everything that you say and speak. So even if it sucks and it looks bad out there, go, I'm creating my reality. I'm holding my frequency, and I'm not. It's just like a channel on the television. So turn it off if you don't like it. And yeah, it might be really in your face. You might have to go to WORK wearing a mask. I understand. But trust me, if you decide to leave because you don't want to obstruct your breathing, something better will show up for you. Yes, there might be some fear involved, but something better will show up for you. You are an unlimited being. And if you have the courage to say no, you will be supported. I promise you. I promise you. I see it happen all the time. So hold the frequency. Create your day every single morning. And if you really want to kick ass, set 15 alarms on your phone to go off every hour, and you might not catch them all, but there'll be a little message there, and then you can drop in and go, okay, now I get to take 1 minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes and recreate my reality like I did when I was still laying in bed. And if you even did that, caught 5 of those alarms a day, that's 150 times a month plus 30 when you do it in bed. So that's 180 times a month that you are consciously creating your frickin' reality, intentionally ramping up your frequency, seeing it here as already here in the now, not in the future. And it's priceless. It works. Hey, Melanie, great to see you. So it works. And if you're just catching this, I invite you to go back and watch it from the beginning, because I think it's quite mind expanding. It works for me anyway. And this is the best I'm bringing. And we're in such a great time right now. I'm just sending big love to everybody, all my beautiful mirrors out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everybody that shares this, everybody that shares the book and the online digital course. I'm super blessed. I'm so grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll be back on Monday. It's Monday in the States. It's my Tuesday morning because I'm in Thailand. I'm in the future. It's Sunday night, 8:29 p.m. here. So thank you again to everybody that shares this. And I'll see you out in the field. All right. Much, much love and be well. Keep your frequency up. It's shifting right now before our eyes. This is